Hello, my name is Ahmed. In this video, I will be talking about the Holocaust. I will start by talking about the facts about the Holocaust. Jews were targeted in the greatest rate because a book written by Hitler in jail named Mein Kampf. Also, other people like queer people and people with disabilities were in the Holocaust. The Holocaust was called by Hitler the last solution, and killed more than 6 million Jews, and a total of more than 12 million deaths. And most of them was killed in places named concentration camps. After beginning of the Holocaust, the Jews ran out of Germany, and the rate of finding a Jewish person in Germany was less than 1%. And more than 90% of Jewish people was from Eastern Europe, not from Germany. And now I will start talking about my memorial. I will be talking about Anne Frank. Anne Frank was born in June 12, 1929 and died March 1945. Died in Germany's concentration camp by having a fever named typhus. Anne Frank was a Jewish girl that used to write everything happened in her life in a diary. She and her family was hiding for more than 2 years after the German occupation in Netherlands. After her death, her diary got exposed, and all people would start talking about her. And until now, it's the highest selling diary about the Holocaust. When I searched up for Jewish people, I didn't find specific Jewish people because at this time Jewish people all were made equal by having a hard life. So I talked about Jewish people, all Jewish people. So I talked about all Jewish people, not a specific group. German people moved Jewish people to places called ghettos. They died from hunger and diseases, and they took the rest of the people that survived to places called concentration camps. And it looks like prison, but the people work and starve to death. Then they put them to a place and lie to them by telling them that they are taking shower, and then throw on them specially poison gas chambers to kill them. And the amount of deaths in the concentration camps was more than 6 million. I will start now talking about other people that died in the Holocaust, but not in very highly detailed. I will only talk about when they were born and when they were dead, and a famous quotation, and how did they die. I will start by talking about Joseph Kennedy. He was born in 1915 and died in 1944. His famous quotation was, "When the going gets tough, the tough gets going." He was killed in action during World War II while serving as a bomber pilot in an autopilot plane, and it lost control at night after getting destroyed the night before. Ernie Pyle. War makes strange giant creature out of us, little routine men who inhabit the earth. He was born in 1900 and died in 1945. Ernie was assigned to cover the Pacific theater of the war. He was killed by Japanese sniper fire. And the most famous person on our list, Franklin Roosevelt, and he was one of the American president. He was born in 1882 and died in 1945 after the war ended. His famous quote was, "I ask you to judge me by the enemies I have made." He died by physical health and from injuries after the war years. I chose a design in black and white colors because black and white shows a death or a sad moment in life. And I use candles because in Christian religion, when a person dies, they light for him a candle. And I used to put a photo of every person in a black and white color, except for the Jewish people because I didn't talk about a specific person. I put about 10 people in the photo behind the fence of the concentration camp. And for Anne Frank, she She looked very young in the photo because she died in a young age. Also, in the design that I made, I started by telling the person name, then when did he was born and when did he died, and a famous quotation, and how did he die. Except for Anne Frank, because Anne Frank is the main character in my memorial. So I started by Anne Frank, her name, and in the left side you will find a famous quotation at her. And under her name and under the quotation you will find a photo in black of color white. Behind this photo you will find flowers and candles that shows that there is a person was dead. And then I started talking about her life and when did he were and when and where did she was born and died. I learned a lot of things in this Holocaust, in this research. I learned a lot of things in this research. From them, that there is more than 12 million people died, 6 million of them were Jewish. I knew a lot of people like Anne Frank, and I actually knew that there was a president of America that name was Franklin Roosevelt, and I knew what happened to Jewish people and how were they dying in the war. Thank you for listening to this video. See you next time.